Hello and welcome to Jerez for the fourth round of the 2023 Spanish Formula 4 Championship. Fantastic to have you all with us on this day, this rejoining of the series after quite a lengthy summer break. And we will get going with this race, the 13th of the season, in a few moments' time. As you see the starting grid coming up on screen now, Andrés de Cárdenas with his first pole position in Spanish Formula 4. He's got Enzo Deligny alongside him. Championship leader Theophile Nael is starting from fourth on the grid. He just missed out on pole position by 0.2 of a second. Hasn't been quite at the top in the two practice sessions we've had so far, but we'll go through that in a few moments' time. We have a couple of guest drivers, a couple of new drivers this weekend. We actually have an incredibly full field. As you can see on the screen on your left there, this is going to keep on rolling and keep on rolling and keep on rolling. We have 35 drivers this weekend. So, yes, this is going to be incredibly busy. Right down to row 18 with Isaac Barashi for Jerez. We do, as I said, have a couple of guest drivers this weekend. Lorenzo Castillo for Formula de Campos and Eloy Gonzalez. They're starting towards the rear of the field, 33rd and 34th. So they are non-point scoring drivers. As you see, Deligny just taking a turn there. As mentioned, it's Isaac Barashi starting from the back for Jerez with Eloy Gonzalez and Lorenzo Castillo just ahead. Another new driver, Kai Darinani for Cram Motorsport, starts in 32nd with Carl Bennett 31st. Dewey Richards starts 30th for Formula de Campos. He got a reprimand in practice for track limit violations. Flavio Oliveri starts 29th, just behind Fernando Barrichello, while Georgi Zaraski go for 27th place for DriveX Racing. Max Restrepo will start 26th for DriveX Racing, while Lynn Hodines for Monlau Motorsport will get away from 25th. Luciano Morano will start 24th for Sainteloc Racing, behind Federico Alrafai for Rodin Carlin, and rounding out row 11 is Alexander Absakava for DriveX and Eric Genet, who will be starting 21st. Into the top 20, and incredibly, all the drivers from P1 to P21 were inside the 1 minute 43 marker. Theo Jensen will start 20th for Sainteloc Racing, just behind a trio of MP Motorsport drivers. Thomas Strauven in 19th, Kiana Alazzari in 18th, and Avisa Rodella starting 17th. Juan Cota is 16th for DriveX, behind Pablo Sarrazin from Monlau Motorsport, and Ricardo Gracia 14th, also with Monlau Motorsport. Griffin Peebles gets away from 13th position in the Technica Formula de Campos entry, with Noah Lyle returning to the series after missing last time out. In 12th position, he starts with Roland Carlin, while Geronimo Berrio will get away from 11th for MP Motorsport. Into the top 10, Jerez Carasquala will start 10th for Campos Racing with a 1 minute 43.621, just behind Alex Nunovic in the Rodin Carlin machine, while Pedro Claro, the one-time championship leader, will get away from 8th position. He was second place in FP1. Noah Stromstead starts from 7th for Campos Racing with Valerio Rinacella, who was top in FP2. He starts 6th. Matteo De Pello was second in FP2, third in FP1. He'll be hoping for first in this race. He gets away from 5th on the grid for Campos Racing, with Theophile Nael, the championship leader, starting 4th. Christian Ho will be third on the grid for Campos Racing, and on the front row, on the right-hand side of your screen, in the Red Bull colours, the slightly dim Red Bull colours, for Campos Racing is Enzo Deligny with a 1 minute 43.041. He was fastest in FP1, and on the left-hand side of your screen, in the white Campos entry, Andrés de Cárdenas, he was P3 in FP2, pole position with a 1 minute 43.033. And we are now waiting for this race to commence. And the engines do begin to rise, and we are away. And it's a good start by Cárdenas. Christian Ho has gone ahead of Deligny, and I think Theophile Nael has gone ahead of Deligny as well. And the poor start for the Red Bull Junior, who looks like he's dropped down into 4th or 5th position. Stromstead also trying to make way for position. And Nael into second place ahead of Cárdenas, as Christian Ho now leads this race. So driver towards the rear of the field, going off onto the gravel, losing several positions, and they have a puncture. That is a left rear puncture. Christian Ho leading from Theophile Nael, and they do touch Nael with his left front, touches the right rear of Christian Hall, and that slides his way into the lead. And that is causing a little bit of an issue for Christian Hall. And I do wonder if Cardenas is going to get through into second place. He has. And I do believe Deligny is going to try and take third place, but he can't quite make it through. Matteo De Peo just behind him in fifth position, while Valerio Rinicella is in sixth place. And some drivers at the back also going a little bit off track and trying to regain position. And we have spinner. Now one of them is the number 5. That is Elvis Rotella. I didn't quite see who the other one was. I do believe it was one of the other MP Motorsport entries. And the safety car has been called for 2 stranded cars on the circuit. We got one other car with a puncture trailing around the circuit, so the safety car has been called, and we immediately, and that car on the left hand side, very damaged left front, while Madeo's car has a very damaged, or punctured at least, right rear. 3 guesses as to what happened there. And so Theophile Nael leads this race ahead of Andres Cardenas. Deligny in third place, De Peo up to 4th, Rinicella at 5th. Christian Hall has dropped down further positions to 6th place. Disappointing for him, having started from 3rd position. And we have Juan Cota and Flavio Oliveri coming through the pits. And I do believe the other driver involved in the kerfuffle, and don't take my word for it, was probably Thomas Straven, one of the guest, well, actually not a guest driver, he is a points scoring driver. It is his first weekend in Spanish Formula 4, also an MP Motorsport runner. But he is registered as stranded, and I figure that is the other driver who is in the over the far side of the wall, alongside a clearly disappointed Alvis Rodea. One driver who definitely will not be disappointed is Theophile Nael, who's leading this race, getting away from 4th on the grid and leading this championship. And it must be said, he had a solid opening round at Spa-Francorchamps, then picked up a podium at Motorland Aragon in the 2nd race, and it was in the 3rd race in Motorland Aragon everything finally clicked. He got that win, he fastest lap and the race win, and suddenly he was charging into lead and had a fabulous round at Navarra with 2 wins and a 3rd place to take him well clear into the championship lead ahead of Pedro Claro. We see the start of the race again. Theophile Nael had a brilliant start, got ahead of this slow starting. Oh, let's see it. Yeah, oh, actually, what really happened there? Multiple collisions, I think, on Rodeo's car. He got spun from behind. He got clipped on the right rear. Then another car coming past actually clipped his right front, I should say. So multiple collisions, multiple damage, expensive day, and only half a lap done. Noah Stromstead, meanwhile, also came through the pits. And Stromstead was running in the top 6. So I do wonder, maybe possibly another kerfuffle that we just missed. That is Strauvan in the yellow overalls. Making his Spanish Formula 4 debut. The Belgian racer. Solid qualifying to first weekend in Spanish Formula 4. It is a very, very thick field. 35 cars as mentioned this weekend. And to qualify at least midfield is not a bad effort. Not a bad effort at all. Strouben, of course, this is his first real effort in car racing. Full stop. He's pretty much been kart. He's still karts now, actually. And we see it's a little bit of a bump and grind here for Theophile Nael. He's on the runoff area slightly, dives into the corner, and hits the does hit the right rear of the then race leader Christian Ho. And I do wonder if race control will look at that. It did look as if possibly, and we have number 41. That is Fernando Barrichello in the gravel. And I've absolutely no idea why. And I can still look in the car, so your guess is as good as mine. And I'm told not to make guesses, so I won't. But he's in the gravel, his race seems to be done. It's not been a great season so far for Fernando Barrichello. He has struggled quite a bit. And now he is getting out of the car. He's got the signal to get out of the car. It is safe. And we have another safety car lap. It is going to be extended. It did look as if, and just to note, Geronimo Barrio for some reason is falling down the order. But I do believe that is actually a transponder issue. Yes, it is. It's been a difficult season for Fernando Barrichello, it must be said, the son of Rubens Barrichello, the former Ferrari Formula 1 driver. And this safety car is just going to be extended a little bit longer. It's difficult when a car is stranded like that in the gravel. When a car is stranded on the actual road itself, there is definitely an element that it is slightly easier to... Now this will be interesting. Is that a crash under safety car conditions? It is! That's quite ridiculous. And almost another crash. My word. Couldn't quite tell. It looked like one of the Rodin Carlin machines, but I'm not entirely sure. What on earth happened there? I couldn't quite tell who the other car involved was because we only really saw the back. Now, it could be Eloy Gonzalez, the guest driver for Jerez. But do not quote me on that. Anyway, as I was about to say, it is a little bit more difficult to clear a car from the gravel trap, as it is strictly from the road for obvious reasons. The car beached in the gravel, you just need to work that a little bit harder, a little bit more, and it means the actual JCB is stuck in the gravel itself. It takes longer to actually travel in and out, so it just means longer safety car periods when the car goes off into the gravel, where if the car spins on the road, as we saw with Alvis Rodea earlier on, then it's a little bit easier to clear. Highest mover, as we see on screen, Carl Bennett, up 10 positions, while Isaac Baracci has also claimed 9 positions. Admittedly, Baracci started from 35th position, Carl Bennett starting 31st. I always do find it quite interesting, quite funny, those statistics of most positions gained, in all offense, because drivers haven't had a great qualifying session. Safety car driver is leading the race. He's done several laps. He's driving very, very, very well. Wonderful effort by him. He's absolutely winging it and having the time of his life. Meanwhile, Theophile Nael is actually in the lead of this race as we come down to the infamous Dreisack corner. This is the corner where Michael Schumacher had a bit of a swing at Jacques Villeneuve and lost. At second in race is Andres Cadenes. He was the pole position man. Cadenes started a little bit late in the season. He missed the opening round at Spa. He was too young to compete at that round. He had to wait till he turned 15 years of age before he could join the series at the second round of Moudon and Aragon. Got a 6th place finish on his debut, points position. Well done. And he's had one other points finish since then. 7th place last time around at Navarra, and this was his first pole position, 2 points for him. And okay, it may not seem like much, but it's experience, and that's really what counts at this stage. Now, I think we're going to get a race. Ha-ha! The safety car is in this lap, and you see Theophile Nael. He is beginning to weave slightly, get a little bit of temperature into those tyres as they come into the right-hand side of the chicane, and then the left. The field is closely there. Cardenas is going to be watching the race leader closely as he gets his foot to the throttle. The right-hander, there'll be one more left, and then they'll be on the start-finish straight, and this race will be underway once again. And we are go. Cardenas is just going a little bit wider, and safety car is back. Okay. And we've almost had a huge pile-up in the field. The drivers who were given the message, presumably, that the safety car was coming in, they've all come into the final corner, waiting to go, and then had to slam on the brakes. And I have not got a message on screen as to why the safety car has stayed out. But it has. We've had 6 laps completed. That, I think we have to admit, that was quite lucky. We could have had quite a significant incident. It's quite reminiscent. I don't know how many of you remember. I do believe it was around 2010 or so at Paul Card. Was it 2000? It might even been earlier than that. Goodness gracious me, it might have been 2008. Yes, there was what was then a Le Mans Series race at Paul Ricard, prior to back in the days before WEC. Where the safety car missed the pit lane. Green lights and the gantry were given. Some drivers at the front decided they went, and then they stopped, and all the cars behind them didn't realise that the safety car was still out, and they actually ended up having quite a significant pilot. That was, I remember that, Paul Ricard. It must have been about 2009, 2010. Anyway. Now the lights and the safety car out. Hopefully we'll get the race going this time. 15.5 minutes plus one lap remaining. We've really only had half a lap of racing here so far. And hopefully we will get a clean run through to the flag. The driver's going to do it all over again. Eric Janay, meanwhile, 17th place, has the fastest lap. We'll see that fall in a moment's time. And Nael gets away much earlier. Cardenas is now under pressure from Enzo Deligny in 3rd position, while Matteo De Paul is there in 4th position. And Nael has nailed this. Boom. Cardenas in 2nd position. Deligny looking, having maybe just sticking his neck out to see if there was a gap. There wasn't a gap. Cardenas knows he's there. He's under pressure. Cardenas is the leading rookie in this race. He'll be hoping to hold on to that position, but he was hoping to hold on to the lead of the race in the first place. But Nael has got himself a very nice lead, extending it ever so slightly. As they come around the right-hander, taking him into the middle part of the course, down towards Dreisack. and it's Nael Cardenas. Deligny Lapeo in the orange car. In 5th place is Runacella. He won last time out in Navarra, his first win in Formula 4 after several close attempts. Christian Ho still running in 6th place. Whatever way he was destabilised and lost several positions, he's going to regain his composure now, but he has to try and retake those positions. Claro in 7th place, and number 22 in the orange car. Just behind him is Alex Ninovic in the Rodin Carlin entry. Geronimo Berrio into 9th place, while Noah Lyle in the Carlin entry is rounding out the top 10. Good effort from Lyle, having missed the last time out. He's, of course, running in British Formula 4 in this campaign as well. So there are, last time out, he missed that because there was a clash of events. And Nael, 7 laps in the bag. Fastest lap as well. Not totally unexpected. And a little lock up there. You do not want to be locking up your tyres too much. Although it would have actually saved quite a bit of tyre life, all those laps under the safety car. Well, he does seem to be pushing hard, trying to build as big a gap as possible. Not always necessarily the easiest thing to do in Formula 4, because let's face it, this is a championship that does have safety cars quite often. It can be a tricky thing to push too early. You see an attempt of a move here in the mid-pack. This is where the MP Motorsport entry is under quite a bit of pressure. We believe this is Ninovic. As we come out onto the back end of the circuit. Apparently that is actually Berrio, yeah, followed by Ninovic. But Noah Lyle is behind them, and Griffin Peebles up to 10th position. It's a solid run for Griffin Peebles, who's yet to score a point so far this season. Has had a highest finish of 13th in the second race at Aragon. And Lyle under real pressure there. Sarrazin is in there too. Continuing to lead and doing so. Such skill, such competence. As you see the Sainteloc Racing mechanics looking at themselves on screen. Now the lower part of the, and someone off track. So we do have, I know that the incident at the start of the race between Theophile Nael and Christian Ho is under investigation. It's taken us up until this time to actually get that notification. So the stewards have been thinking about it for quite some time. So that will be very interesting to watch. Let's see whether the stewards do take any kind of action. Nael continues, someone well off the circuit and nearly connecting the barrier, and I think that could have broken wing too. So completely missing the final corner. Valerio Nicello, then Hogan Berrio. Now you got Minovich, Lyle in the Rodin Carla machine. The kind of black and Dago yellow entry. He's got Sarazan behind. Griffin Peoples has fallen out of the points. He's down to 11th position. Alex Sawi is 12th. Then you got Jesse Carrasquale in 13th place. He started 10th. He'll be happy looking for more. It's Cardenas, 0.8 of a second behind Theophile Nael. He set the fastest lap last time around. Maybe looking to push. Have a last few laps charge. He's got just about a second ahead of Deligny. He's broken that challenge, and now he's just looking for ahead. Deligny, meanwhile, is over a second ahead of De Peo, so he's not under any pressure. De Peo, meanwhile, is under plenty of pressure from Minicella, from Christian Ho. But the battle out front. Is getting closer and closer. So just beware if you're looking at the timing and score barrier on the left-hand side of the screen. It does seem to be having a few transponder issues here and there, but it is correcting itself relatively quickly. So if you see drivers falling fast down, and falling fast down the order because the race has been stopped. There's a safety car. Someone has gone off at turn 6, which is this corner, and we see now who it is, but it's a very damaged right front. And is that Keanu? No, Lynn Hodines. It is Lynn Hodines in the Monla Motorsport entry. That looks like quite a bit of damage on the right front, and possibly to the front wing as well. And with 6.5 minutes, front wing's got too much damage, but definitely he's taking a hell of a punt on the right front. Interesting to know how on earth he's done that damage going into a right-hand corner. Certainly not what you would expect from someone trying to go down the inside. And so the race is neutralised once again. But that's going to be difficult to clear because of the broken right front wheel. That's going to be quite difficult to clear. So the question now becomes, can this race be completed or let's get restarted? In the minutes that are remaining, we have 5 minutes 45 plus 1 lap remaining. We'd like to think that the car can be moved. It's not got any steering on the right front. We've had a warning for track limits for Enzo Deligny. And also a warning for track limits for Griffin Peebles. The JCB is out, as is the safety car. We wait patiently. We've seen a lot of the safety car this weekend. I say this weekend, it's only race 1. And as it stands, Theophile Nael will be greatly extending his championship lead. The next driver in the order is Pedro Claro, who is in 15th and not scoring any points. Valerio Rinicella is 3rd in the championship. He's 7 points behind Claro. He is running 5th. And if my brain calculates that correctly, and it does somehow, that will put Valerio Rinicella into 2nd in the point standings, 3 ahead of Claro. But we can get this winched out of the way really quickly. Oh, this is the bit in the race. I kind of wish I'd done more with my maths. So, Theophile Nael would have 168 to Rinicella's 111 if things finish as they do. Oh, be careful. Don't whack yourself in the face with this diffuser. Anyway, yeah, so that would be 160. No. 158. 158 to 111. And it's going into the kind of a resting place of cars. That's of course where we had the incident at the beginning of the race between Rodea and Straubing. Their beach there. And for drivers who are still running, who've lost the most amount of places, Clairol is one. He started 8th. He's now running in 15th. And he was absolutely superb in the opening round at Spa-Francorchamps. And while he scored some points since then, he's not really... He had 2 wins in the second at Spa. Although that second place came via someone else getting a penalty. But since then, he's... got some top 5s, top 6s, and it's in place, but never really kind of gone beyond that. For those wondering, we've had several drivers out of this race so far. The latest one we saw on screen there was Lane Hordinez, and a few moments ago Fernando Barrichello was out in the gravel trap after we believe hit by Eloy Gonzalez. Flavio Oliveri is also out of this race. Noah Stromstead has retired, and Alvis Rodea and Thomas Straubing also retired at the beginning of this race. As we get going once again with 2 minutes plus 1 lap remaining, Nael continues to lead ahead of Cardenas. Deligny in 3rd place from De Peo, and Rinicella is in 5th place ahead of Christian Ho, Geronimo Berrio, Ninovic is 8th, Noah Lyle 9th, and Pedro Sarrazin up to 10th place ahead of Keanu Alazzari. Griffin Peebles has now dropped down to 12th. That is Alvis Rodeo. They finally got his car back. Well, that will be fixed up and returned to race tomorrow. Challenge. Back there is Noah Lyle trying to get past Ninovic for 8th and 9th position, and Niall fending off Sarrazin, or is he? Didn't quite see how that concluded. De Peo, Rinicella, and that is Ninovic still fighting off Lyle. Sarrazin still there, and Lyle goes on the inside, hits Ninovic. And will Pedro Sarrazin get both of them? No, he can't, but Lyle is ahead, and Ninovic who goes off the circuit. And into the gravel, and Ninovic has lost many positions there. The 2 teammates at Ron and Cannon getting very tough with each other. Another driver going off the circuit is Peresquada. We've had a drive-through penalty not two drive-through penalty, it's 2 seconds time penalty for Colin Bennett for track limits. There are several warnings coming through now, and drivers who've gone off the circuit picking up dust and dirt all over the place. This will be the penultimate lap. That was disappointing for Ninovic, who has dropped quite a way. He's dropped to 14th position. Lyle went through, lost the back end slightly. They collided. It allowed a gap for Sarrazin, who didn't quite make it work. But eventually Ninovic went off anyway, allowing him through. Not that it's made too much of a difference, because Sarrazin got caught out later on anyway, and it's dropped to 16th position. It's brought Griffin Peebles back into the points positions, where Kiana Al-Adzari now running 9th. He'll be happy with that, having started 18th. And that's, that is Theo Jensen from 15th position. He's had a spin, and I think he's lost. Has he lost the engine? I think he may well have lost the engine, and if he has, then it'll be safety car in this race will be done. It's Theophile Nael ahead of Cardenas. We are on the final lap of this race. Carasquada, meanwhile, has gone into the pits after his off. The race has not been neutralised, so they are going, so hopefully Theo Jensen will be cleared in time. Oh, red flag, so the race is drawn to a premature close. And Theo Jensen still very much in this car, the car in the middle of the road. And so the race has run its course. We will see shortly what way the final positions have been declared. We're absolute confidence. We know full well it's going to be Theo Nael who's won the race out as the Cardenas, second place, ahead of Enzo Bellini, third position, with Matteo De Pello in fourth. And let me check. Matteo De Pello? No, I was going to wonder if it was his best finish. Of course, he won race everyone this year. How silly of me! I should pay a little bit more attention. Valerio Nicello winning last time out. He's fifth place here. Christian Ho, sixth. Geronimo Barrio, seventh. Noah Lyle, eighth. It's from here on in, it's a bit questionable because we have the contretemps between Noah Lyle, Linovich, Sarazan, etc. So it's a question as to whether, when we bring the lap count back, whether the count will come after that incident or just before. And there is, of course, as mentioned earlier on, an investigation ongoing between the incident, involving the incident between Theophile Nael and Christian Ho. We've not had a resolution for that yet. Hopefully we will soon. 2 seconds time penalty too, by the way, for Max Restrepo, who's currently in 22nd place, and also for car 28, Isaac Braschi, who is 25th. What I can do for the moment, and until we know any better, I can tell you that Theophile Nael is the race winner ahead of Andres Cardenas and Enzo Bellini. You can see the top three on screen in Parc Fermi at the moment. Matteo De Pello is in fourth position ahead of Valerio Nicello. Sixth place is Christian Ho, with Geronimo Barrio in seventh. Noah Lyle finishing eighth, with Kiana Al-Adzari ninth, and Griffin Peebles 10th. First points of the season, provisionally, for Griffin Peebles. Pedro Claro came home 11th. He'll be disappointed with that. He's ahead of Ricardo Grazia, while Alexander Absakava came home 13th, ahead of 14th position Alex Ninovich. 5 seconds time penalty, by the way, for Carl Bennett. It's an additional penalty. I think he got 2 seconds earlier on. And also 5 seconds penalty now for Maximiliano Restrepo. But I'm just going to continue on with the ring order. We'll get final results later on. Pedro Sarazan, after his tussle, came home 15th ahead of Federico Alrafani. Georgi Zuravsky was 17th ahead of Juan Cota, Luciano Morano, Carl Bennett, Alexander Selvaggi, Max Restrepo, Eric Chenet 23rd, Hiyu Yamakoshi 24th, Isaac Braschi 25th, Lorenzo Castillo 26th, Theodore Jensen stopped out in circuit, classified to 27th. Jessica Carasquada came into the pits on the last lap, classified to 28th. Everyone else was a non-finish. And so, plenty of action, but also a lot of incidents. And of course, when I mentioned earlier on, it was Hugh Yamakoshi who came home 24th. But, of course, I mean, Dewey Richards. The transponder needs to be changed over on that car, I think. Well, you see the provisional results on screen now. Andres Cardenas will take the trophy for highest finishing rookie. Good effort. Good day, really, for Cardenas. He'll be disappointed to have not won, but at least he'll have pole position. His podium. His first podium, actually, I should say, in Formula 4. Plus the rookie trophy. I have absolutely no idea where that puts him in the rookie standings. I should probably look that up.
Congratulations. You took advantage of the opportunity to overtake to Cardenas at the start, and you gone until the end. How about it?
Yeah, it was a really good first lap. I did an amazing start, so I'm really happy because with the safety car it was not easy. The race was long and I was ready to restart. So yeah, thanks to the team. The quality was not as my suggestion, but I'm happy and let's focus to tomorrow.
And what happened with Cardenas at Curve 5?
Yeah, Cardenas is fast this weekend. He's quite amazing, but he was also with new tires, with four new tires. So yeah, I'm happy, confident for tomorrow.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good effort for Theophile Nael. Mentioning, of course, Cardenas on 4 new tyres. There is, of course, a very limited number of tyres available to the drivers this weekend, so you actually really have to think about where you're going to use your tyres, how you're going to use your tyres, and what race you're going to use your tyres in. Realistically, you'd use your most worn tyres for the race you probably least expect to get a result. We'll get the podium in a few moments' time. And after that, of course, we'll be going straight into the following event, which is the Eurocup 3, which has several former Spanish Formula 4, Spanish Formula 4 drivers in it. There is the Thomas Strauven's machine, after he collided with the stricken Alvis Rodea at the beginning of this race. His first Formula 4 race in his category, and it lasted half a lap. And we get a good overview of the valley here in southwestern Spain. Warm day, 30 degrees Celsius. Coming towards the evening, it's not terribly hot in any way, shape or form, but comfortable enough as we come to the end of September. And of course, next week we return for the next round, the 5th round of Spanish Formula 4 next weekend in Circuit de Estoril in Portugal. We then have a 2-week gap before the 6th round of the championship in Ricardo Tormo, Valencia, and the final round of the season in mid-November, as per usual, in the Circuit de Catalunya in the village of Montmelo, just outside Barcelona. That's Pedro Sarrazin getting into it with Pedro Claro. Earlier on, they were just behind Ninovic and Lyle when that battle was ongoing. A lot of drivers going flying off the circuit and taking to the runoff area, and some punctures. As a result. Still not entirely sure what happened with the first safety car restart. He was given the green light, and then as the leading drivers came around onto the start-finish straight, the safety car was still there, and the race was neutralised again almost very suddenly, and a lot of the drivers in the middle and lower end of the pack didn't realise and came charging out of the final corner, probably expecting the race to be fully gone. And you're about to get the podium. Sponsored by the favourite tipple of many a hen party on a Saturday night. Should get 2 podiums. First for the top 3 in the race, and the winning constructor being Theophile Nael and Andrea Cardenas and Enzo Deligny, and the winning constructor, of course, being Sainteloc Racing, who are on a hell of a run at the moment. I mean, it says an awful lot the quality of Sainteloc Racing. Many years in GT racing. Debuted in single seaters at only July of last year at Spa, and got half a year's running with Theophile Nael last season, and they have expanded. Actually, I think they're making their debut in the Euro Cup 3 race this weekend. Actually, in about 20 minutes, half hour or so. But they also expanded into several other Formula 4 categories this year, and really very keen to kind of get into the running of things. And are really making a mark now. So that's 4 wins from the last 5 races for Nael, and he really is extending his championship lead. Driver standings, what's it called at the moment, is Nael on top with 158, then Rinicello with 111, Claro third with 108, and Christian Ho fourth with 103. Deligny, meanwhile, with that podium, goes. He hits the 100-point mark and he's fifth in the standings, but they're all those second, third, fourth, fifth place are all a long way behind the leading driver Theophile Nael at the moment, as we see Enzo Deligny come onto the podium, fixes his Hankook cap. And there is Cardenas in second place, and the race-winning driver Theophile Nael for Sainteloc Racing. And the representative for Sainteloc Racing. Trophy handed out. And I do like what they do with Spanish Formula 4. The third place driver gets the bronze trophy. Second place driver gets the silver trophy. They're quite nice, actually. They're not overly sponsored, as it were. They're actually just quite nice trophies, and the winning driver getting the gold trophy. There's going to be a trophy too for the team representative, which comes out now, and that too is gold, albeit slightly smaller. Shake of hands, hold it high in the air, point to people, they go yay, well done, congratulations. In a few moments time there will be photos. First, the French national anthem. Congratulations to Theophile Nael for his 4th win of the season in And he really is beginning to build a quite significant gap, the point standing to his race. The drivers come together with their trophies, the podiums, the photographs are taken. And Bellini forgets all about his alcohol-free champagne. But for now, we've had an intriguing race and one that sets us up for quite an event tomorrow. We had incidents, we had collisions, long safety car periods, but it was a bit of bump and grind between Christian Ho and Theophile Nael that really did much to decide this race. We had a fantastic battle for the bottom end of the points between Noah Lyle, Ninovic and Sarazan in the latter stages of the race. Again, ending in wheel-to-wheel tussles. But that was today. And there is your race winner. We will be back with more Spanish Formula 4 tomorrow morning for race 2 for the short race. My name's Leo Gorman, and I hope to speak to you all then. Thank you very much, and goodbye. How long do I have? Oh, okay, straight away, is it? Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, no, I know. That's cool, that's cool.